Hello, Dr. Becky here with Premier Chiropractic. The scenery is a little different today as I'm in our Kenmare office. I have a little bit of time and I've been wanting to put together a video like this for a little while now. So today I'm going to be talking about having a balanced, aligned, and roomy pelvis and area for baby as you are going through your pregnancy. So pregnancy ends in labor and delivery, and that in itself is a marathon event. So if you've ever seen anybody in labor or you've been in labor yourself, you know, you start the time and there are many hours that go by, and at the very end, you have to push it and give it all you got. Give all your energy after you've done hours and hours of work. This is just like a marathon or a really big event, right? So you would never show up to a marathon without doing your exercises and your stretches many days leading up to the marathon. You want to do the same for pregnancy, for delivery as well. So, you know, doing your stretches, doing your exercise, really being prepared for that day. So when you go into labor, you have that energy, you have the stamina, you've built up your muscles, you've done the stretches so that baby gets in the proper position, because when baby's in proper position, labor and delivery goes a lot easier. I don't know about you, but I prefer that. So we're just going to talk today about having that balanced, aligned, and roomy pelvis for baby to make everything easier at the end. I'm going to start with a couple disclaimers. One is always speak with your healthcare practitioner. This could be your OB, your midwife, your doula, or your chiropractor about any sort of exercises and stretches that you're going to be doing. They've been with you on the journey, or if you want to establish that relationship so that they make sure you're doing it right. What we don't want to be doing is starting to do these exercises and stretches, doing them wrong along the way, and maybe causing some sort of restriction or something like that for baby, and potentially causing more harm than good, right? So just speak with your practitioner or consult with a chiropractor and make sure you're doing these in a good position. The other is make sure that your pelvis is aligned. If you haven't been adjusted, if you haven't checked to make sure that pelvis is in, you want it, you know, aligned and even, no extra tension on one side or the other. I'll give you a quick example. If we have, you know, more tension, or we have a little bit of torque on the one side of our hips, and we go down and we're doing squats, right? We're going to kind of overcompensate and come down, and every time we do it, it's going to be doing it wrong, causing more tension on the one side, and just, again, causing more harm than good. So make sure your pelvis is aligned before doing a lot of this stuff, because everything we're doing with these exercises is going to be very, you know, causing symmetry, causing good balance and room for baby. So we want that to be perfectly aligned. So the first thing we're going to talk about is you and your body. What we do often throughout our day, whether it be working, driving, you know, eating dinner, hanging out at the end of the night, we are sitting a lot of the time. Even if you're getting up at work, kind of walking around, you're still in a seated position for a long period of time. So let's think about where baby's sitting, right? Usually between the rib cage and then our hip bone and then into the pelvis. So this is the space we have to work with where baby's at. The more room they have, the better position they can get in, and the more comfortable it is for everybody. So if we're sitting on a chair, now these chairs are awesome. If you work a desk job and you're pregnant, get one of these right away. It's just easier to sit on. You're not as slouched back like on a chair like this hanging out, and it's easier to kind of sit at the front of and hang out like this and kind of move around, causing, you know, movement in your hips and everything like that. So sitting on a chair or a ball like this, we want to sit forward on it, allowing room for belly to just hang. Our hips can sit a little bit wider apart. You have more relaxin in that area, so they can go out a little bit, and making sure our shoulders are back. So think about the space here. Don't kind of hunch over like this and, oh, you know, the chest gets heavy, the back gets tight. Try to really keep those shoulders back and be aware of this space right here when you're sitting, so you're not forward. When it is the end of the night and you're wanting to relax and we're hanging out on a big comfy couch, right, and you kind of sit back and have your tea or whatever, let's think about gravity. So you're sitting back, leaning back, maybe your feet's up on the ottoman, something like that, and we're hanging out. Baby tends to, because of gravity, put their back to your back in this position. So they lean back, and this is one reason why they say, one of the many reasons they say don't lay on your back when you're pregnant, is you don't want that baby's back to go towards your back and get stuck in a position like that. You go into labor, they call that back labor, I believe. It causes a lot of pain. So really, you know, not being aware of not just hanging out, reclining back like that. something a little bit more comfortable if you're wanting to not just, you know, sit forward like this, because that's not comfortable all day. Laying on your left hand side. Again, we're using gravity to our advantage this time. Getting pillows and laying on your left side. We're bringing babies back on this left side. When baby comes out of the canal, they go head first, occiput anterior, head first, and then they go in a clockwise motion out. That's the motion of the uterus, right? So head comes out, back on this side, butt bundle, and feet, and that's the area they want to go. That's the easiest, smoothest labor you can have as far as pain and ease and everything like that. I've had 3 babies, all natural, and it was fairly simple. I'm not going to say it was the easiest thing ever, but fairly simple, and that is the position that they were in. So laying on left-hand side, if you've ever heard to lay on your left, that is one of the reasons, to kind of just hang out like that. I'm going to take this ball out of the chair so you can see a couple of things I'm doing here. That's why these chairs are so awesome too. You can then take it and use the exercise ball as well. These you can pick up at Target. I'm sure they're on Amazon, sporting goods store, anything like that. They work so well in pregnancy. For sitting, getting movement in the hips, things like that. And then there's a couple other things that I do with it that I'll show you as well here. So I'm going to move the chair. Getting into a position like this. And you want to think like plank, because we've done planks like this before, where our arms are like this, and just letting baby hang in that position. And right now this table is using as a stabilizer for that. You can do it without the table and work on your core muscles, but just letting belly hang in that position for a while. This allows more room into the abdomen. Baby can move around in the position they want to. Baby wants to be head down in that proper position. It's just a natural way for them to go. The reason why they get, you know, stuck up, maybe head up or transverse or something like that, is because when they go to get in that position, there is a restriction causing them to not go in that proper position. We say the baby's stubborn or something like that, but typically I find there is a restriction in the pelvis, usually in the lower back, or in the lower part of the pelvis here, that they're not, or the round ligaments here, they're not completely turning all the way. So these just allow them a little bit more room to do so. One a little bit more advanced, and this is why I say speak with a health practitioner before you do it, there's a little advanced move that you can use. I did this on my couch. I'll show you because we have the table here. Just put this back. I took the cushions off my couch so that it was about this high. It's not as high as this table here. I'm not pregnant right now, so I can do it on the higher one. But I took the cushions off my couch, and you get in this is on spinningbabies.com. I've used it before. I've told other people to use it. You can do it a few times a day and just hang out. You don't want blood to go to the head, but just kind of hang out in this position. So very carefully, you can have somebody help you out. Again, you're not going to be this high. This is pretty high. But we want to come down. And very slowly, again, in that plank position with your arms. And you can just let belly hang. And I would stay in this position for about 20 to 30 seconds. Just letting the belly hang, really opening up that space again for baby. You can do that for 20 to 30 seconds, you know, a few times just while you're hanging out at night. Doing all these exercises, you know, giving yourself 20, 30 minutes at the end of the day to do them is going to help in the long run. So that is a great one if baby is head up or transverse, to allow them more room. Again, take that gravity and let them move into that position. The next one is squats. I absolutely love squats, so I know I'm gonna cut myself out here. So doing as many squats as you can, again, properly with your hips aligned, is really going to help in the labor and delivery process. You've built up the muscles, you've built up your strength, build up your core muscles, everything like that, and this is just going to help. So we think of a squat as usually hip width apart and going down. You're pregnant, you have a little bit more room to work with here. So we can go pretty wide with feet pointing out. Think baby belly right here and coming down. You can use a chair to help support you. You want to make sure you're just going straight up and down. You can sit in this position and rock a little bit to open up that space and build the muscles. I'm going to go to the side here. So we're sitting back and rocking. Again, you can hold on to something if you need help that way. You can find a wall to make sure that you're going even. A wall and go down and up along the wall to use that as support. But really doing as many squats as you can. So I'd say even, 3 sets of 10 multiple times. Or if you have a 2 to 3 minute break during your day, doing some squats, building up that exercise. I'm going to do one more. So towards the end of your pregnancy, a great one to get baby's head engaged a little bit more on that left side again and to open up the pelvis is called the butterfly. I think we've all seen this one, maybe did it in gym class. But put your feet together, and you can just do this on the ground. I'm on the ball so that you can see what I'm doing, but holding feet together here and just moving legs back and forth like that. You can do a little bit of resistance. You can have your partner push and go against them for resistance, but just that movement helps get baby into proper position. So there's some great tips to take with you if you want to watch the video again to make sure you know all the right movements. Again, make sure you see a practitioner. If you haven't been adjusted, to make sure your pelvis is aligned, go ahead and give our office a call. If you have any specific questions on any of the moves I did, you can comment on the video either on YouTube or Facebook, whatever it's on, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. All right? Have a great day and a wonderful pregnancy.